From New York, the city that never sleeps, it's Where's Elvis This Week. Our guest tonight, comedian Felix Dexter, writer and critic Joe Queenan, columnist Lowri Turner, and Saturday Night Live's MacDonald. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Stewart.
Hello and welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen, and specifically New York City. And let me remind you of the old saying, New York City, if you can make it here, the rest of the world thinks you're a condescending prick. I'm Jon Stewart, or as I'm referred to in America, Mr. One Slip Up away from hosting a game show. And by the way, in response to all your cards and letters, Sagittarius. Okay, tonight on Where's Elvis This Week, we'll be aiming to once again bring our two countries a little closer together. Spitting distance, if you will. We have so much in common, Britain and America. You like beer, we like beer. You watch Friends, we watch Friends. You have die, we wish you would. You see? This week in America, the stock market hit a new high, Dole and Clinton were debating again, and talk show host Kathie Lee Gifford has said she's going to adopt an underprivileged baby, as if poverty and famine weren't enough for this kid. Now it's got to live with Kathie Lee Gifford. How much can one baby take? And finally, of course, where's Elvis this week? Well, according to the internet, he's in fact moved to Britain. He's been spotted buying jelly donuts in Asda in Glasgow, singing and drinking in a bar in Lowestoft, and queuing for a burger at MacDonald's in Windsor. All we know is Elvis is dead, but he's still hungry. All right. Let's move on to the show, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Hello. How are you? Queuing, I said. Joining me tonight from England, Sunday Mirror columnist and agony aunt Lowri Turner and comedian Felix Dexter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them. All right. And on the American side, writer, critic, and broadcaster Joe Queenan, and from Saturday Night Live, Mr. MacDonald is with us. So let's get on with the headlines here. We've met everybody. Lowri, let me bring this up to you. Definitely the biggest piece of news in the world this week is this headline right here. Take a look. Yes, she's Madonna now. It's about Madonna having a baby, yes. Which to me, with all the sex she's had, law of averages, I would think. So why do people care about this?
The amazing thing, of course, is that she actually had the baby herself. Surely a woman with that degree of wealth would pay somebody else to look fat for 9 months. I mean, she's had to hide away, hasn't she, for her entire pregnancy, because, you know, most women, their ankles swell a little. This woman's neck swelled. I mean, you know, she looked horrendous. According to there's been much talk, obviously, about the naming of the baby, Lourdes, and the Vatican are not terribly happy about that.
Did the Vatican actually have a response? Did the Pope come out and go, she did what?
I think she should be congratulated on.
Who?
Madonna should be congratulated on choosing this name, because here's a woman who spent her entire life, basically, throwing open the door to her boudoir to any sexual pilgrim who happens to be passing. And so she calls her daughter.
You know what? For all the talk of that, I don't know one guy who's done her. You know? For all the talk of, oh, Madonna has everybody, me and my friends are sitting around going, hey.
But the sad fact is...
Where's our turn at the deli counter?
The sad fact is the one guy who has done her, as he so sublimely put it, he's been told that she's not interested in him anymore. So this guy has got to live with the fact that he's given birth to perhaps the most famous baby in the current times, in the past few years.
Our savior.
Well, precisely. Everybody knows that.
That's what happens to every man after his wife has a baby. This is no exception.
You know. I think we've taken a turn for the bitter.
Well, I think most women, after they've had babies, are less interested in their husbands for a while because they're tired, you know, they're worn out.
Well, plus they've had like a 6-pan thing go through the birth canal.
All right, well, let's move on, shall we? Before this really degrades. Joe, this seems to make perfect sense. Here's the next headline. Handguns outlawed. Now, this is in Britain. They've outlawed handguns. Why can't we ban guns in this country? What's our problem?
Guns are part of folklore. you know.
Folklore?
Yeah, I mean, people have always thought, you know, the founding of the West and everything, and all the lunatics in America really believe that if you have a gun, you can defend yourself against the government if the government comes. So I don't think...
But hoop skirts are a part of folklore, and we don't wear those anymore.
You make a good point.
Norm, would you ban guns if you...
No, not in a million years. I got a gun. I own a gun.
All right.
That's a bit worrying, don't you think?
Well, guns,
This
you
guy
got to
has a
have
gun.
guns on account of, what if another character has a gun, you don't have a gun?
Now, that's an interesting point.
Guns really are horrible, and they should be banned in all countries. You shouldn't have one.
Oh, I would love it if I was the only guy to have one, to tell you the truth.
Looks like Norm would be getting a lot of free lunches with that one.
You see, it's called the right to bear arms, isn't it? Isn't that supposedly
We have a constitutional right, yes.
constitutional precept, the right to bear arms? But actually, it's the right to kill people. I mean, it's so simple. That's what a gun does.
I think you're just bitter because our right that we had got us our country. I mean, let's face facts. If we didn't have guns 220 years ago, you guys would still be taxing the tea. But we had a couple of, you know, we had a couple of rifles. We marched down. You guys wanted to walk in single file. I don't know why you did that, but you did. And
But perhaps if we hadn't taught you how to use the guns in the first place, then you wouldn't have been able to.
oh yeah, like Geronimo didn't teach us how to shoot straighter than Lord Cornwallis. All right. Felix, we got some more headlines going here. Have you had one of these in England? Million Man March in England. Are there a million black guys in England to have a march? Or do they have like 100,000?
I think actually there's about 5 of us.
Oh my God.
Things are pretty depleted right now, what with me being over here. The way it was perceived, certainly by the majority of people in Britain, was actually a little bit distorted, because I think there was this notion that it was some kind of anti-Semitic initiative, and that Farrakhan is viewed in that way. Now, I don't know enough about what he's been saying recently.
No, I think he loves Jews. I've seen him.
Yeah,
in fact, the other day he had a bagel with a schmear. The guy loves the Jews.
Now, I think it's stupid for minority groups, Jews and blacks, to, like, not get on, because, hey, we all know about persecution.
I stayed indoors that day. You know, I just try to stay out of the way when these seminal events occur that can't do me any good. See, I'm Irish-American, and the great thing about being Irish is that you can claim to be a minority, but you still control the police department. So you don't have to worry about anything.
Let's go. Finally, Norm, this looks like the election has finally got exciting as Bob Dole got dirty. Gloves are off. What took Bob Dole so long to get nasty in the campaign?
It took him a long time to get his gloves off because of his one arm that doesn't work. So he's like, oh, I'm like, can you help me with my glove? It's coming off here. Very well.
I feel shame and yet delight.
That man lost that arm at the Battle of Anzio fighting the Nazis, and you make fun of him like that.
No, I love Dole. I'll vote for Dole. He's the best man, you know.
Norm, I hate to say this, and I know this to bring this up, but I don't think Canadians can vote in our elections. We appreciate your support and your enthusiasm.
I'll tell you, I can't vote in the election, but I can pay the huge taxes to Clinton.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. All right. Do you believe Dole has gotten nasty too late? Have you seen Dole get nasty?
This man is not capable of getting nasty. From the perspective of all the way across the Atlantic, you know, he just appears to be this doddery old guy who falls off the edge of stages occasionally. And that is largely what we're seeing.
Well, you see, Dole has got a bad image problem in Britain, really, because Dole means unemployment benefit in Britain.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, I'm going to really sort the economy out. My name's Mr. Unemployment Benefit. You know? Doesn't compute.
I think Dole didn't go on the attack as much as he could have, because there's scandal after scandal after scandal with this Clinton character, you know. Yeah. And I was reading one this morning. They said Clinton, apparently back when he was governor of Arkansas, you know, back then, he got real drunk one night and apparently had sex with Hillary.
Well, let's see what all this negative stuff is about. They say Dole has gone negative, and in Britain, apparently, a picture of Tony Blair with red eyes caused a major controversy. But in America, viewers have been exposed to $450 million worth of political ads, 90% of which are negative. So are we just mean people? You know, why are we being shown these things? Let's take a look at some.